Hi, my name is Abby Rollins, and for my informative speech, I'm going to be talking about All Star Cheer. I do this myself, and it is something I am very proud of. So, I want to talk about the fact that there is a belief that sideline cheer is the only cheer available. I'm not saying that everybody thinks this, but there are a lot of people that have never heard of All Star. Sideline cheer is something that is almost recognized to everybody, but All Star Cheer is largely unheard of, which I understand it's a little bit different and it's kind of a different community. So that's really what I want to get into. USASF says that the Q94 Rockers team competed for the first time in 1982, but they were an all-star team for this year, but they competed against other school teams. So it was a little different seeing what all of these cheerleaders could do on the Q94 Rockers team, because all-star is a very different level than sideline, and it is very noticeable if you were to watch one side by side. And so that looked a little different for everybody else when they saw this team competing all-star at a school cheer competition. The National Cheer Association, also known as NCA, divided the teams that wanted to compete in All-Star so they would have their own division, which is why we have All-Star Cheer now. So there is the competition called NCA, named after the National Cheer Association. There are a section of the competition a few weeks before the other, which is all school teams, and then a few weeks later it's all of the all-star teams. And all-star is all about performance, while sideline is more about getting the crowd involved, and it's about crowd leading, which both are great, but they're just different things. So like I said, sideline is more about being peppy and being very encouraging, and all-star is about performing. It's closer to like being more poppy and being more out there, kind of like in your face and stuff. What I read on the Cheer Buzz is there are 5 all-star gyms and teams that are like up there and have the most globes, which you get at Worlds. And number 5 would be Cheer Athletics, and a few of their popular teams are Senior Elite and Code Black. Senior Elite recently won Worlds this year, and they're one of my favorite teams, but they're very well known. And then there's Top Gun All-Stars. TGLC also won Worlds this year. They're very good. And then they have Lady Jags 00. They're really great. These are all level 6 teams, by the way, which means this is like the highest level you can go until you go up to level 7, which there's not many teams competed in that division. The next gym, number 3, would be Gym Time. I don't really know what teams there are there. I've only recently heard of them. They are very popular, and they do have one of like the 3rd most globes out of all teams. Second is California All-Stars. One of their teams is Cali Co-Ed. They're very popular. They were very popular back in the day, and they're very good. They are always very technical about all of their things. Number 1 right now for as the most globes at Worlds and stuff is Cheer Athletics. A few teams of theirs that have these highest globes are Cheetahs, Panthers, and Wildcats, and they are all 3 such good teams. All of these teams are good. Obviously, they're in the top 5, and they are very well known. So if you look up All-Star Cheer on YouTube or on Safari, Google, one of these 5 teams will most likely pop up with a video or something of them, and you can go watch them at Worlds and things and all different competitions. But while this is such a fun sport and very fun to perform and compete in, it is also very dangerous. And there are a lot of problems in it that need to be talked about. Geisinger talks about how there are very many health and body image issues because you have to be in good physical shape to do All-Star Cheer. If you are not, you're not going to make it through a routine. A routine is 2.5 minutes long. Doesn't seem like a long time, but you are running, you are tumbling, you're stunting, you're throwing people around, and you have to be smiling and happy the whole time. You can't be out of breath or you're not going to get through these things. So a lot of coaches and teams have had a bad history with this because your coach wants you to stay in shape. You want to stay in shape, but this can lead to working out too much. And there have been various eating disorders that have happened from this, which is very sad. But it happens in every sport, but this one, it is a very large problem because there's a lot of things that people think you have to be skinny to cheer. No, you just need to be in good shape or you're not going to make it through a routine. And a lot of people think that they need to work on that, and it's really sad to hear about, but that's a big problem. And it is also listed, All-Star Cheer is listed as the most high-risk injury-related sport, higher than anything. A lot of people won't believe that, but it is. You are throwing people 20 feet or more, 30 feet in the air and hoping you can catch them. It is a very hard task, and it is a very dangerous thing to do, but that's what practice is for. But in conclusion, I just want to say that cheerleading has very many different options. There is sideline cheer, which is good for some people, but there's also another type of cheer, and that's all-star, and I think everyone should at least try to discover it, look at some things, see what it's about. You don't have to try it, you don't have to tell anybody about it, but just read something about it, go watch some videos, see what it's like. And there's more than one type of cheerleading, and they both should be recognized because they're both great. But I just think that All-Star Cheer is really amazing, and it should be recognized and seen more. Thank you.